least I don't do crystal meth in the bathroom all night long.
That's my opinion!
He will never emotionally fulfill you.
Because I don't want to be a part of it.
Go to sleep! Go to sleep!
Close your legs to married men, trash box.
I'll tell you how I'm doing. Not well, bitch.
Who gonna check me, boo?
Welcome to Morally Corrupt. I am Rachel Lindsay. She is Callie Curry. Callie, shall we get started? We had one of our catch-up talks.
Did we? We're almost an hour late.
All the things we can't say, which is funny because lately I feel like people are like, y'all are really going in on Morally Corrupt. And I'm like, oh, if you could hear what we say before we press record.
Lots has been edited out.
Thank God. Thank God.
Lots have been edited out. And you still have called West a gutter rat and a mutt within a month.
Which some people were, and I apologize, because I have dogs that are mutts. People were offended by that, but I guess I don't look at my dogs that have various breeds as mutts. I should have called him a tramp. But then, you know, Lady in the Tramp. Like, I'm more so it's hard because literally my dogs came from the street, not even rescue shelters. So I do understand that. So I should have picked my words clear. I should have just stopped at he's not a golden retriever and stood up for the golden retrievers. So for that, I apologize.
So now we're standing up for the mutts too.
Yeah, I have two mutts. And they're beautiful. They're beautiful and they're amazing and they're the best. This is why I can't be on reality TV, because the way we talk off mic, it's like if I have a camera on me, because you do, when you are on reality TV, you forget.
Yeah, you get used to it.
The cameras just kind of become furniture. It's like, the cameras are there. You forget the microphone's on you until you have to use the bathroom. And then you just start saying stuff. So it would be the beginning of the end for me, I feel like. Because somebody would get, upset with something.
I auditioned for a reality show once.
Callie,
I forgot about it.
How have we not discussed this? Which one?
I honestly completely forgot about it. It wasn't a show that's like made. It was back in the day, like peak Kardashian days. Boonham and Murray had like my friend group come in and audition. And we did really well. And then after the audition, like just remembering what I said, I was like, I can't do this.
Were you living in LA at the time?
Yeah.
I want this reality show. By chance, is the group still together?
Yes, we're still very good friends, but there's no way. You do, like in the beginning, I was probably like a little nervous, but then after like 10 minutes, you just keep going. And yeah, by the end of it, I was like, y'all have to edit like all that out. No way.
You do. And then just imagine if you were doing it and drinking.
And for you, day in and day out. No way.
Yeah. It's when I watch people, now that I've been on it, I'm like, I can understand how you can have a slip of the tongue. It's just so easy. But you forget, I'm filming. No, people are going to watch this one day. Callie, you would be a great reality star. I don't know how we haven't had that conversation yet, but you would be fantastic.
I'm not gonna lie, I think I'd be good. I don't think it would be good for anything in my life, but I think I would be good at it. I don't think I would ever do it.
What about if they did like Real Housewives of...
Nope, never. Absolutely not. No.
I mean, I would do like either.
I would do like Amazing Race where they're not trying to like make you fight people.
Or it's not in your personal life. That's my big thing.
Yeah, not in my personal life. I also like grew up with brothers where we made fun of each other all the time. So I would have no problem going back and forth with somebody, but it would end up with me saying something offensive. Like I just don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm. Did you see the announcement for that new reality show that's going to be on Amazon?
What is it?
Amazon Prime. It's got like Caitlyn and Jen from The Bachelor, Tamar, Christine Quinn.
What?
And they all go on this trip for like self-healing. Oh, it's called Reality Retreat. Kenya Moore's on it, Kim Zolciak, Hillary Baldwin.
Hilaria?
Yeah, I still call her Hillary. Margaret Josephs, like all these people. I think Julie Chrisley's on it.
What?
Yeah. Oh, wait, Savannah's on it too. Thank you, Belle. Savannah's on it as well. They wanted me to be a part of that show. And I am so glad. So I actually even took a meeting because what was told to me is not what I'm seeing.
What it turned out to be.
Because I was just like, well, I haven't done reality TV in almost, 9 years. And it just would have to make sense. And I kind of was told it would be more of like an eat, pray, love, healing with women who've been through some things. And I was like, maybe this is kind of the journey and the place that I'm in when I had these conversations last year. And I was like, maybe this is something that I would do. And I was told it wasn't like about the mess and all of that. And I was told it wasn't reality stars. I was told it was a mix.
Is there any mix?
No, everybody's on reality TV.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe people have done other stuff, but they all come from reality TV.
Right.
And I look at this and I am like, thank goodness. Rachel, not listening to your gut made you lose half your money. Don't do it. Don't do something again. Like, listen to your gut. But I'm curious to see it just because some of the people that are on it that we haven't seen in a while. But I'm already like Kim and Nene. That's drama. I wouldn't be able to be on a cast with Julie and Savannah Chrisley because there's no way I'm not bringing up politics during that conversation. So,
well, Julie seems more open-minded. Savannah is gone.
She's in the cult. She's in the cult.
Every Thursday where I live, around the corner, there's 2 intersections. And every Thursday, there's a group of people, I don't know what the group's called, but they protest every Thursday.
Protest what?
Trump.
Oh.
They're out there for like 2 hours between like 4 and 6.
Just
so like
in the neighborhood.
Peak rush hour. Yeah. There's a lot, not all, a lot of people in their like 60s, 70s. And they are fired up. And a lot of their signs say like, honk if you don't want a dictator, honk for no kings, honk for being anti-ICE, whatever, all this stuff.
Good for them.
And it's been going on since he got elected, pretty much, every Thursday. And every Thursday, I have to pick up my daughter, so I'm always driving by and we honk. And yesterday, we're driving by, it was nonstop honking. Like, I've never heard this many honks ever.
Really?
It was like we were at the red light. We happened to pull up to the red light right there on the corner. And it was just like, like every car.
Love to see it because that state can be purple. So hopefully they're blue.
I was like, okay, people are finally getting fed up.
Yeah, they've had enough. Love that. Also love that your daughter gets to see it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. She reads all the signs. She'll ask me about it. A while ago, she was like, why don't they like ice? And I had to explain to her what ice was, which was like really hard to explain. But then I just used examples of like, people in my family. I'm like, these people don't want people that weren't born here to stay here. The ice people. And then I just used examples and she was like, they don't want Aunt Lorda here? I'm like, they don't. And I feel like that like really helps explain it.
Yeah. Aw. Love that. Shout out to those people. They may never hear this, but shout out to them that do that every Thursday. Why a Thursday? I don't know. There has to be some kind of strategy behind it.
I don't know.
But shout out to them.
Also, they don't publicize their group at all. I'm like, who are you guys? Like, how can I donate? Can I protest one Thursday? I know I got to pull up and roll my window down and be like, how do you get involved?
How can I support? Love that. Okay, before we get into our Bravo recaps, a word from our sponsor, Activia.
This episode of Morally Corrupt is presented by Activia. Think your gut could use some help? Dive into Activia's Gut Health Challenge and enjoy just 2 Activia yogurts a day for 2 weeks to support your gut health. With billions of probiotics and 20 years of scientific expertise, Activia is one of the easiest and tastiest ways to start your gut health ritual. Try Activia today. Enjoying Activia twice a day for 2 weeks as part of a balanced diet and healthy lifestyle may reduce the frequency of minor digestive discomfort, which includes gas, bloating, rumbling, and abdominal discomfort.
Okay, we pick up where we left off. The fight. The Carl and Kyle fight sponsored by Lindsay Hubbard. Because
sponsored by Vagisil.
But wait, I haven't thought about that. So first off, I shout out to the Bravo editors because the way they've been teasing this, I actually am disappointed in the actual fight. Because
I thought they actually like swung on each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They did a fantastic job of the lead up. So by the time we get to the fight, I was a little let down. So we need to stop saying fight and just say
Argument.
Because
I don't know. The whole house was like really shaken up by it. They were like, "Oh my God."
I think the yelling, seeing Carl charge, like run off.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we going to see on the other side of the door? And maybe they did fight and they edited it out. Who knows? But I was kind of like, are we gonna throw hands? Because I'm sure if they just like threw hands or wrestled a little bit, a little tussle, they'd be fine, which they were fine at the end of the day anyway, because as we see, Kyle and Carl just have a real friendship. Your thoughts on the argument?
We talked about it a little bit last week because that's when the argument actually happened, like at the dinner table. I personally, while I do think Lindsay was there to do her job and she did it well, I would be upset if I was Kyle. And that doesn't mean that Kyle's been an excellent husband.
Sure.
But if everyone at the table was coming at me and my wife was just sitting there smirking, I would have a problem. Also, they're coming after me for being a DJ when she knows I am a DJ to try to pay our bills when we are in debt. And she also knows that she just gets high and walks the dog. What would you like me to do, Amanda? I can come home every night at 7 p.m. I don't know where we going home to, which shelter we're going to post up at. But like, I need to make money. I need to pay off these bills.
Yeah.
And DJ is paying me money. And she had the whole cast thinking he had, including me, I'm not a part of the cast, but that he had a full-blown residency. It was one night in Vegas.
I thought so as well. Did he tell you about Vegas?
Yeah, one night at Marquee. What are we talking about? You're that upset about one night in Vegas? So but do I think that Lindsay was going too hard? I think her and Sierra overstepped, but Amanda wanted them to overstep.
She did. And she says, I think in this episode, that's why I was so quiet, because basically kind of, I guess, co-signing what you're saying. I'm going to talk about the fight, or the argument. I felt like it really showed how much respect, despite the argument, the respect and love that Kyle and Carl had for each other, because even when they were yelling out insults, they weren't insulting that. Yeah. They obviously have known each other for double-digit years. They could have told each other secrets. And instead, Kyle's like, you 6'5". And I thought,
motherfucker.
No. Yeah.
6'5", motherfucker. I was like, that's a compliment. Call me 6'5". I hope someone's calling my husband a 6'5", motherfucker. Because you damn right. You damn right.
I was like, Kyle could have said, because I'm sure people were like, okay, Kyle doesn't know how to throw insults. And I thought to myself, no, I just don't think he wants to go there.
Yeah.
That's how I thought. Even stop being a Vagisil is crazy.
That was funny. I laughed.
I just think that they didn't
I
know.
wasn't like, oh my God, that's so mean. I was like, that's really funny.
Yeah.
And all Carl was like, you loser.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, they both don't want to really hurt each other.
Yeah, no, for sure. I did Gibson's podcast this week, and he pointed something out that I didn't notice, that when the argument had stopped and they decided to talk it out in the room, that Kyle brought 2 non-alcoholic lover boys as a truce. I was like,
you didn't realize that?
I saw that he had drinks in his hand, but I thought that was so funny. I did not catch that. Like, that's the stuff where I'm like, I don't even think Kyle knows how funny he is. He just does stuff and says stuff that's just so, like a truce.
That warmed my heart. When he brought the drinks up, I was like, wait. Like, is that non-alc? And then I looked it up and I was like, Oh my gosh, that's so sweet.
It just warmed my heart. And again, this is not us forgetting or disregarding, Kyle saying, fuck you, or all the stuff that Kyle has done. But it just highlights to me that, and I said this last week, that Amanda really, I think, thought this was going to be her episode, kind of like a redemption based on all the stuff that's happening in present day, that people were going to see this version of Kyle and are going to be like, okay, gosh, it's so sad for Amanda, but they're not. It's almost as if they forgot, Amanda and West forgot these little intimate moments that people keep circulating over social media of the two of them together. And then you contrast that with the way he is with Sierra. And it's like, there's clearly
or the way she is with Kyle.
Yeah, same. And there's a care and a delicacy that they have for each other that they don't have for the other people who they, one in a relationship with and one that was in a relationship with. And I would die on this hill. The moment where Amanda rounds the corner and sees Wes, and she said, when you pulled your chair up next to me and just holds him, I think they were always flirty. And I think there was a like there that neither one of them wanted to admit, or at least she didn't. She definitely liked the attention and flirting. But in that moment, she fell for him. That is what I think. I actually don't think they maybe were physical before. But in that moment, to me, she absolutely fell for him. All the things that she wanted from Kyle, she's probably already getting from West with the attention and stuff. But in that moment, when he did that and the way that she expressed it, I was like, oh, she fell for him. She is head over heels for West.
I don't know what was happening last summer. I think something was happening, whether it's emotional or physical. I've said this for the past couple of weeks. I think at the very least, best case scenario from this whole situation, they both have told each other that they like each other already. The way that they act with each other, I'm not understanding. And when Kyle was joking with Jesse and West, when they were like opening up drinks in the kitchen, and Jesse was like, where are you sleeping tonight? And Kyle was like, in my bed, bitch. And he was like, where are you sleeping? And Kyle was like, West, wouldn't it be so crazy if he was like, I was planning on sleeping with your wife? West looked so uncomfortable. Like so
I have to go back and look at it.
Uncomfortable. And I rewatched it because I was just like, he's either done it, definitely thought about it, or they're at least on track to where that is a possibility. I think they've told each other that they like each other, but like we can't do it, but we like each other.
Fair.
Like I could never act on it, but like whatever. And whether they did it when they were drunk or whatever, I just think the way he like holds the back of her head and her waist and her saying, I love you. And you pulled your chair up next to me. Him even pulling his chair up next to her when they're outside. And she's like telling Kyle to take a breath while also putting a hand over his mouth and his hand on his neck, which I'm like, that's not like the easiest place to breathe. West is like wrapped around her with his head pressed to the side of her face. That's not normal.
No, it's not normal. And the problem is, and we've said this before, is the way they move with each other. It's almost like harder to see. If this was a different friend group, we would immediately be like, what's going on? But they crawl into bed so with each other.
Yeah.
They invade each other's personal space. They're very, very close. And I mean, even Mia kind of, I guess, like solidified that thinking that we have when she's like, it's crazy that I need it this summer and I'm so close with strangers. There's just a closeness that they have with each other, which before I would say is okay, cool. Like that's not necessarily me, but cool for them. But now we see it's also how you cross the line. It's like when a married couple has, because I know that this has happened to somebody, a married couple, they live in their house and then they allow a man or a woman to move in that's a friend for whatever reason. And then that closeness, sometimes one of the other couple, the man or the woman falls for that friend. I actually know, more than once that has happened to somebody. And I remember somebody being like, you never let that happen. You never let them get that close. Or I know like another couple that they used to travel together all the time together. And then the husband and the wife ended up like the other couples falling for each other. It's just like a crazy, like you just can't let people too close. Clearly that's what's happened here. Shania Twain and her ex-husband, the ex-husband and her best friend got together, and now Shania Twain is married to her friend's husband.
Ex, yeah.
Because I also think that there's like a trust and I don't know, as my friend Natasha would say, it's lazy. With the second couple. Well, the first couple may have fell. The second, it's just lazy.
I had someone DM me, which I don't know what happened to my DMs, but I guess they got sorted in a weird way. And I didn't know I was getting all these DMs. And I kept getting an alert for a DM. And then I would go to my DMs and there's nothing there. So I was like, I don't know what's going on. Then yesterday, I randomly was clicking through. I've missed so many DMs. So sorry, because y'all know I like to read my DMs. But someone had written to me saying that they're rewatching Summer House from the beginning and following along with our podcast. And she's like, it's so interesting to hear you and Rachel talk about Summer House when I'm watching from season 1 right now, and the same things still apply. And I'm like, it is interesting because we didn't think that they still applied back then. Like, she's like, Amanda has been lazy since she first got on the show. And she was like, there's so many things that have happened. And I think she's on season 6 right now. And for example, their florist for their wedding fell through. And she's like, it's 100% on Kyle to figure out what's going to happen with the florist. And she was like, wedding planning, it was like mostly Kyle. And like Amanda's complaining and being like, Kyle, you wanted this, so you do this. Like, it's always been like Kyle has to like pick up for Amanda's laziness.
Yeah.
And I think because Kyle will like yell or like curse, we've always just been like, he's horrible. And she was like, I'm convinced that Kyle is an awful husband because Amanda has always been an awful wife.
Woof. Maybe I need to do a rewatch.
I know. I was like, oof.
Jeez. I'm laughing because I said geez, because somebody pointed that out the other day. They're like, I've never heard a Black person say geez. That's what they said to me. And I was like,
I mean, I definitely have dropped a few geez Louise.
I said, do I say that? And now I hear myself say it all the time. I'm like, geez.
Whenever anyone points out something you say, all of a sudden you notice it all the time.
I'm like, have I been saying it? I think I say it all the time just because, geez. I might go back and watch it. But it's just, Kyle and Amanda should have just never been together.
Never gotten married.
What did you think about that moment where, inside, just crazy how it was. Inside, you have Amanda and West holding each other. And Sierra and I think Jesse are outside. But before that, West was outside with them. So it was Sierra, West, and Jesse. And West goes, it feels like it's 2023. Now, I thought he was referring to the fighting. And Gibson was like, no, they're referring to like their trio, their dynamic. Yes. And then Sierra goes, we're so back.
Yeah.
And then West is kind of talking in his confessional and kind of be like, well, blah, 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 whatever he's saying. What did you think in that moment? Because I was telling Gibson, I go, it's kind of, I can only imagine how hard it is for Sierra, period. But I hope she's not watching episodes because it's hard to see how she keeps finding her way to wherever West is. Outside, in the kitchen, like when they all came back from partying, all the girls had gone back and the guys were there. And then one guy left and another guy left. And Sierra's just like right there at the counter with West. And it's just, she's constantly finding her way to West under the guise of, I miss my friend. And I'm going to fast forward. And then we see them, making out the next week.
Really made me uncomfortable.
His hand was like this.
Yeah, I think that from what we've seen, it seems like Sierra is more into West than West is into Sierra. And I think that West likes Sierra as a friend and as a person, but I think he is scared to do anything with Sierra. One, because as we saw that little sneak preview, he has a girlfriend during this entire summer that nobody knows about. Crazy. So that's probably one of his hesitations with getting too close to Sierra.
Mhm.
2, he knows he can't fuck up with Sierra again because the fans would be done with him.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I feel
Very
like
aware.
that might be the biggest reason why he's like, I can't do this. Like, I already know I have a girlfriend and this is not going to end well for me. And so I feel like he is anti-Sierra on a romantic level for a bunch of different reasons. Because Sierra knows none of those reasons. Sierra's like, I love him as a friend and I've always had a crush on him. Like, it hasn't gone anywhere. So like,
She
I want
loves
to
him more than a friend.
I want to jump right back in to flirting with him, hanging out with him, and like hopefully like hooking up here and there. Like, that's what it seems like. But the editors are definitely trying to make it seem like she likes him more than he likes her, sorry. And I just don't know when these confessionals were filmed. So it's really easy for West and his confessionals, because most of them happen post-season. And he's already hooking up with Amanda post-season. So he's going to downplay any and all feelings for Sierra in these confessionals.
Yeah.
So I think he is purposely going over the top to be like, well, I don't know. And she's saying this, but I feel this. But I'm like, I think he's really trying to make it seem like she is on him more than he is on her. Which I think that's what it actually is, but he's not showing that to her. He's acting like in person, like it's all mutual.
Yeah. You made me just think of something. I mean, with all the drama that came out this week about Jen Fessler, it's very clear that Sierra is online. And Amanda has said that she wasn't online. I think Wes said that too. Like, they both got offline. I wonder if Amanda's purposefully is being willfully ignorant at this point. I wonder, because when you started talking about him being in a relationship before, what came out at the upfronts, and then with all, like, everybody commenting on that, like, I bet Amanda doesn't see any of it purposefully. I could see her totally ignoring the whole situation because she wants to live in a La La land. It's easier.
Yeah.
It's easier. And it's easy to say, I didn't see it. It's easy.
Amanda's lazy. If there's one thing we know, I'm not even kidding. If there is one thing we know, she's lazy.
She's lazy.
And I said this after his last short film drop. I know Kyle's apartment is spick and span. And apparently, he said so himself. The apartment is way cleaner. So yeah, if someone's like, hey, don't do this, it'll help you, it's less work. She's like, oh, sign me up for less work. I won't get online.
A couple of other things before we move on. I hate to keep making this about Kyle because I don't want to ignore his execution. But we really get insight into Kyle about what he's going through. Because honestly, before it was lover boy, lover boy, lover boy. And I'm not trying to downplay that. I've had to give my money. The company, we have this huge loan. We're not, producing the way that we need to. I'm just worried about it, all of this. And we figured his frustrations were rooted just in a financial business way. And we get from his conversation with Kyle, from the way he talks to himself. And I love a person who talks to themselves. I always say, my boss said it's a sign of genius and insanity. And I am a person who talks to themselves. And so I love like the hot mic moment we get from Kyle, just like talking to himself, but expressing these feelings. And it made me sad because he has said Amanda won't talk to him. So he's probably resorted to talking to himself out loud all the time because it seemed like even Carl didn't know some of this stuff. So it's like he doesn't have anybody to talk to. They just started therapy. So when I saw that moment, I'm like, Kyle probably does this all the time. Not even when he's drinking. He's talking to himself. And then he said they hadn't had sex in 7 years.
Yeah, I'm like, is that true?
So like, not your wedding night?
No, that has to be an exaggeration. That has to be an exaggeration. There's literally no way
I think it's an exaggeration, but I do remember before they got married, because remember when we first met her, they were always having sex.
I have a question. At what point of not having sex in your marriage, like how many months or weeks, depending on the person, would you be like, oh, we might have a problem here?
I don't want to get too much away because I want to save it for my book. But that last year, it was, like months would go by.
But at that point, okay. But at that point where you were like, this is really, 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 really bad, right?
I thought I was perimenopausal. Like I thought, oh my God, maybe I just like my sexual desire. Like I didn't want to. So it was a few things. I thought I was perimenopausal. I was like, is this what it feels like? Oh my gosh. The other thing was, and this isn't giving too much away, I wasn't attracted to him because I was working my ass off and I just felt like he wasn't like it providing in a way. So I was unattractive. So I had no desire to at that point.
But like at what point, let's say you look up and you're like, oh, it's been 2 months. Like at what point are you looking up and you're like, we are in a really bad place. Like how many months would it take for you to be like, we've got to figure this out?
It's hard because my thinking was already there, but like, it would be a month for me. If we go a whole month without it, that's a problem to me. Like if we don't have kids or anything, and we wait a whole month. Like if we had kids and there's just like, it'd be different. A whole month, no children, and you don't travel?
No children definitely changes up the timeline for me. I didn't even think about that. But I asked my group chat and everyone was like, at 2 months, I would be like, what's happening? Like, what's going on? We gotta go to therapy. We gotta figure it out. Certainly not 7 years.
No, I know. I mean,
so
a year.
I just don't think it's been 7 years, but maybe they're only having sex like twice a year, 3 times a year, 4 times a year for 7 years.
Yeah. That was rough to hear, but it gave insight of, Kyle's struggling with so much more than just lover boy.
But also knowing that she doesn't talk to him, and then they go to therapy, and then he finds out from her friends that she's saying other things. He's like, what are we in therapy for? You won't even tell me what you're telling your friends in therapy. Mm-hmm. And then him being like, Carl, she is never on my side. She constantly complains about me. Like she does not like me.
And that's why it's crazy that Kyle won't accept how bad they are. Like he accepts how bad they are, but he still is like, we can save it. Like he is literally, we see the preview of them having the conversation about their relationship and he literally is just taken aback from it. The idea of it ending. It's almost like it's really bad, but we still have to stay together. Yeah. And I just don't, it's shocking to me that he has not come to that realization because it's not like it just got bad this summer. It's been bad. I mean, let him tell it 7 years bad, even before marriage. What did you think about Wes saying that Dara had the hottest outfit the house has seen in a long time?
KJ didn't like it at all. He said my friends wouldn't flirt with my girl behind my back. I'm just not sure that's true. People flirt all the time. I don't think it's a big deal.
I couldn't imagine. I mean, my ex didn't really have friends like that, but I couldn't imagine my ex's friends telling me, like, if they were like, "Oh, you look good," or like, "Oh, that's a great outfit," but saying this is the hottest, and they used to be together. It
well,
just
was. The difference is Wes is cracked, so I think that makes it a little bit different. And his language, like he just crosses the line with people in relationships. Yeah. But do I think he crossed the line to the point where KJ needed to like tweet and all that? No.
Yeah. I just think KJ's sensitive. He's sensitive.
And I love KJ. And for the record, I like Dara and I like their relationship. And Dara has been popping for long before KJ. So I'm not sure if I don't believe that she's with KJ for fame.
To get on the show.
Personally. Yeah, I just don't think that.
Did you see they did the cast photo of the reunion and Levi's not in it? And it's people are like, justice for Levi. Everybody's in it and not Levi. But I'm also like, guys, this is no Levi hate, but what has Levi given us?
She was in the
like
show.
what? I'm sure she was present, but we have not
She
seen
was.
it.
I saw her reunion outfit.
No. I mean, during the summer. But she wasn't doing enough that was
maybe. I don't know.
that
We
they
didn't see
wanted
it.
to include it as a part of the show. I saw somebody say that
My door's not
that
locked.
Levi was Bailey's imaginary friend.
I saw that. I saw that.
Could not stop laughing. Not stop laughing. So, we'll see. Maybe Levi will explain to us what's going on there. Okay, the Valley. People are all up in arms about the Valley because Danny is running amok in the Valley. I saw him running around early this morning. He is causing he is causing a terror. He's a Tasmanian devil when it comes to San Diego. That's what it feels like. Danny is, you know what makes it tough? And I'm not saying that Danny and Jax are the same.
What doesn't make it tough, but continue.
Well, Danny and Jax, they're more similar than people think. And I think what almost makes it, with Jax, we knew what it was. We knew like his vices, what was terrible. It was out there. Danny's almost feels worse because he really thinks he's being a good husband and he is justified in everything that he's saying. He might be the Emmy of the Valley, not as in like there is no willingness to understand what the other person is saying, what the other person is feeling, because you are so steadfast in your truth. And that is another kind of evil. Like you don't want to hear or care what your wife is saying. Danny's is a menace.
Yeah, I had fallen off at the Valley because I found it to be so miserable. And then my girl at Queens of Bravo told me to continue to watch it. So I kept watching it. Mm-hmm. And at the end of this episode, I was just like, oh my goodness gracious. Like these people are fucking nuts. And if you guys listen to our podcast or have been for a while, never, ever thought I would say this. Thank fuck for Lala. Like, I'm so happy that she is on this show now because the fact that they're in a house and sharing that house with people and so many people overheard the way he was talking to Nia and no one said anything. I'm like, if y'all are this used to that, that's not good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm so happy Lala was like, bro, stop talking to her like that. And then him being like, I'm triggered, please. And everybody knows that Lala has been in an abusive relationship. I'm like, are you okay? You're not used to someone standing up to you. Absolutely not used to a woman standing up to you because you hate Janet for doing it. And now you hate Lala for doing it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know where Danny would thrive? Dad talk. He would fit in right with those men. He talks to Nia like she's a servant. Like she's a servant. Like now I'm just like starting to look at the whole thing. It's like, do this for me, do that for me. We have, now I will say they do, and I'm not a mother, so I can't really speak to this, but I didn't understand why they have the nanny. Maybe she's just the night nurse and not the full nanny. It. Okay, so like this is where I need you to weigh in. Because I was like, well, is she just supposed to be there at night or is she supposed to be there all day? Please help me understand.
I think she's supposed to be there all day. But when you have a newborn and the mom has to feed the newborn, like, and just in general with your kids, like there's times where you're like, I can do that. So like, let me just do it. She's going to have my kid all day. So like, there are times where like you want to do something so that she doesn't have your kid 24/7. Like you just want to be like, if I'm able to do it, then why wouldn't I just do it? And if the baby was sleeping in their room, like I don't necessarily want the nanny like on my bed, putting the baby to put the baby to sleep.
Yeah.
And why can you not do it better than the nanny?
Yeah.
Like if you can't get her down, the nanny's not going to get her down. I understand if he was frustrated by that, but then instead of being passive aggressive, why don't you pull your wife to the side and be like, hey, I had 7 White Claws. I'm not sure if I can put the baby down right now. Can we ask the nanny to put her down?
Did he say he had 7 White Claws? Did I miss that?
No, I don't know. It just seemed like he
But
was ordering a White Claw every
him.
second.
They did keep showing him drinking.
Yeah.
But then it's so funny. But then like when somebody asks him about a drink, he's always like, no, I don't need it. But then you see him just like chugging them. And okay, thank you for that perspective. Because as a person who's not a mother, I don't really quite know. But
like
even
when he was
more
like,
to your
she's
point,
not sleeping with us. And Nia was like, yes, she is. It's way easier for Nia to lean over the bed because Nia still has to feed her. Like she's breastfeeding. Lean over the bed, get the baby and feed her. Then Nia have to get up in the middle of the night, walk over to where the nanny is, or the nanny having to come in, knock on their door, bring the baby. It's one thing if you're at home, you know what I mean? Like whatever that happens with the night nurse. But if they're there and Nia's on a schedule and the baby's like a little bit older, so like there might be times where Nia has to wake the baby up to feed her.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier for Nia to keep the baby in the room.
Yeah.
And if that's what she wants to do and she's the mom and she's providing food, then Danny, you have to do next to nothing, but maybe be a little inconvenienced. Like him being like, I tried to put her down and her eyes kept popping open. Well, yeah, she's a child. That's what children do. This is your 4th one.
That's what I was going to say. To your point, he's acting like and you giving me the understanding. I'm almost like, you're acting like you've never had children before. You've been through this. The reason that Nia is probably so emphatic about doing it this way is because she realized that maybe after the first,
this is what works best for her.
This is what works.
Yeah.
And also like you want more children. You know, Nia's so accommodating to you and you just want to use Nia. You want to sexualize Nia and use her almost like look at this, you know, when he's talking about parts of her body. I can't wait to get into you tonight or whatever he says. And it's just like, Nia's struggling. In no way does this feel like, at least what we're getting on camera, a partnership. And It's not like we just saw this the first time this season. We saw it last season. And now Nia has moved out, which I am glad because they do need more space. She's moved all the way.
Wait.
No, I'm sorry. Moved out of the valley. Sorry. The thrill.
I was like, wow.
I didn't move to Santa Clarita, which I'm watching Danny in this way. I'm like, this is what she probably didn't like. Because I bet she feels like a prisoner out in that house, so far away from her friends who we see how much they complain about having to drive out there. It's her with 4 children and 5, because of Danny. And she probably needs that community with her to feel some sort of like an adult,
support?
Like a woman, like a person, rather than just like like who's just providing to the children and Danny.
I'm just confused. I'm like,
Danny, just the children.
Were there signs? Because like,
well,
I can't believe she had 4 kids by him because think about it. What
little we know about Nia's upbringing. There was no stability. You know, she was homeless. She didn't know where her next, at times where her next meal was coming from. She seems to be very self-made, very religious. And, with religion comes submission, at least in Christianity.
Oh, 100%.
Christian.
100%. Mm-hmm.
So with just those little pieces, it makes sense that I think why we don't see her stand up a certain way, why she's so protective, why she is so submissive in some ways. And then just like, this is a lifestyle that maybe she didn't dream for herself, being a beauty queen, being, finding a husband, having these children, having a roof over their head, having not to worry about a meal. It's stability, a family structure. I think those things are so important to her that she doesn't want to jeopardize that because she knows what could be on the other side of it. And it's like, is she balancing out the lesser of 2 evils? Maybe. But I could see how, she sees it. I mean, even when Lala stands up to him, she's like, 1, I don't think this is her place, but 2, I'm glad somebody else sees it. So Nia's been seeing it. And I think what broke my heart for her was when they're at the park, whatever, the roller coaster park, I don't know where they were, theme park. I should say. And she's like giddy and like, she doesn't have the kids. It's like, she's trying to have a good time with Danny. And she's like, let's go do this. And he's so mean to her. You tell me where you want to go. You do this. You do this. And she's like, Danny, we don't have the kids. I don't have kids pulling on me. This is what it was like before we had kids. I'm trying to have fun with you. I'm trying to have a good time. And Danny's doesn't want to. He's worried about, how can I have sex with you later tonight? Let me not enjoy you in this moment. Like he's just doesn't
and then
see
he's
her
like, I
in
feel
that
like
way
it's
anymore.
Formative and is being a jerk. And then turns around and sees people. And she's like, oh, I think they're eating first. And he was like, no, they're getting a drink. Hey! And I'm like, who's the performative one?
We've watched you perform for a while, like the other seasons before. So it's just, I felt so bad for her. It's like she's like, okay, the kids are actually with the nanny, or, not here, and the baby's with the nanny. And I'm trying to enjoy you as my husband. And he doesn't like her. That's what it's giving. He doesn't like her. And I just cannot stress how important that is. He loves her. He cares about her, but he doesn't like her. And that's a huge thing. And it's so sad to see. What do you think about Lacey? I'm
not sure what to think.
What threw it off for you? Because I can tell you what threw it off for me. I was down. Like, I was like, okay, I'm interested in her bunker. I'm interested in the life before. She doesn't seem like she's that into Jesse, but that could also just seems to be her personality. But then when...
She doesn't seem into Jesse at all.
At all. Jesse, you need to apologize. Jesse, you need to do this. But then... So I was
like, I can't deal with it. Stop.
Yeah. I was like, I don't get it. And then it's revealed that she has tried to be on Housewives multiple times. And I said, oh, she found her way to Bravo.
But
Jesse's her ticket.
Is yelling at Janet, like, I never tried out for Housewives. And Janet's like, I don't even care if you did or if you didn't. Like, Janet's like, girl, I found my way to Bravo too. It's all good.
Yeah. Let us not forget.
I don't care, but you did. And then in the confessional, she's like, I have. Who cares about that? I don't care about that. I have tried out for Housewives. And I'm like, then why are you yelling at Janet that you didn't?
She's like, that's not the point. It kind of is. It makes sense why you're here. Because you don't seem to enjoy like Jesse at all.
And even when she's talking to Michelle about Jesse, she's like, I know, I get it. Trust me, I get where you're coming from. And I'm like, why are you with this man then?
Bravo. We get it now.
There's moments with her that I'm like, oh, I like her. Like, I like how she was like, Jesse, have you apologized yet? You need to apologize. Like, that was way too much. Yeah, like there's times where I'm like, I like her. And then there's times where I'm like, what?
Yeah, no, she seems cool. She seems like a cool person.
She's a little kooky. But
she's a little kooky, and she seems like the stuff that annoys her about Jesse would annoy me. So I'm kind of like, I get it. I get where you're coming from. But it just was, once that nugget came in, because I'm like, Janet didn't tell us that last year. We didn't get that part.
No.
We just got the cease and desist. I was happy to see her and Michelle talk. It's like, okay, like, let's hash it out. I'm with them. I don't want to see you guys hash out old stuff in your relationship. It seems like Michelle's moved on with Dr. Dre. And Jesse is with...
I did think about Dr. Dre multiple times while watching.
Right?
I'm
well,
like,
I kept thinking, you know what I thought? I didn't think that. It's when she does stuff, like when she yelled out, I thought, what is Dr. Dre going to say about this? Is this going to turn him off? Or, she's like, divorce me. I thought, ooh, I don't know if he's going to like that. And then Jesse's like, he does, divorce me.
Yeah, he's like, I'm so performative.
Lacey 100% slept on the couch. When she saw you she got the ick when she saw that. She did, because I did.
So she's like, oh, no, ew. Like, she's constantly just like, ugh, with Jesse.
She's disgusted with the idea of
constantly.
What did Michelle say that I always love? You're a disaster. That's Lacey with her. With him.
I loved when, because I caught up. So I watched 3 episodes. So I don't know which episode's which, but he was telling his daughter, he was like, Isabella, do it for Lacey, do it for Lacey. And Lacey was like, no, Isabella, I don't want you to do it for me. And then Isabella was just kind of like, okay. And Lacey was like, parenting tip. she's not a circus animal and I don't want her performing for me unless she wants to perform for me. I was like, this girl's fucking crazy.
Yeah. And then when she was like, another parenting tip, you shouldn't have secrets with your daughter.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. And it's not even wrong. I'm not like, don't disagree fully.
I don't even disagree.
Why?
It's how she says it.
There's
like
no
how
way
she's
they have
delivering
sex.
it.
There's no way they have sex. There's no sexual chemistry. I don't even think we've seen them kiss, hold hands. There's no way.
Yeah, she doesn't seem into it at all.
Now, she did say something that was interesting. So last year when they call Sheena and they're like, Sheena, is Lacey, talking to other people or dating? And she's like, yes, the guy from Baywatch. And then Lacey goes, David Hasselhoff unfollowed me or blocked me.
Yeah.
And I thought, I don't know if anybody thought it was David Hasselhoff.
No. And then she's like, his new wife did too.
So are you telling on yourself? Because I don't think anybody thought that's who it was. He's not the only person.
I do think she's good TV.
I do enjoy watching her. I do.
Yeah. So
I do. What else happens? I mean, obviously the Kristen and Luke of it all. This is again where, as a person who has not had children, it's really hard for me to understand. So I don't even feel comfortable. I don't even have a judgment either way. I just don't even feel comfortable talking about it because I don't know what postpartum looks like or how it manifests itself. And I know it's different for everyone.
Yeah,
so it really makes me sad watching Kristen and Luke struggle through this with a camera in their face. Because at no point am I questioning their love for each other. This is their first child and they're trying to figure it out in real time in front of all of us. I can't even imagine.
Yeah, I don't like everything that Luke has done, like caring so much about sex postpartum, especially after the first one, is like a little much.
Mm-hmm.
No one can describe what it's like to push a fucking child out of your vagina and then to have sex for the first time. Let me just say, all my friends, I don't have a single friend who said the first time having sex after postpartum was enjoyable. You're just so scared because so much has shifted around. Last time you used that organ, it hurt really bad. Like, you just don't know. Also, like, I never tore. I can't imagine having to have sex after having stitches down there. I think this is my opinion, not a doctor's opinion. I think every single woman has postpartum. It's just like different levels. Like the moment after your kid is born, especially your first one, you're like, oh my God, like I am responsible to keep this human alive. Like it's kind of a crazy, I don't even know how to describe it. And as a mom, like your life will never be the same. Your body will never be the same. Even if you can get it to look somewhat of the same, it's just never the same. So I think every woman goes through it, but some people get it really, really bad. And I wouldn't even say Kristen's is really bad. I would say hers is bad. There's definitely way worse cases. Would I want to go through it on TV? No. Would I want to go through it and have it filmed? No. Do I think it's like good to see because there's so many people that go through it or worse than her. And like these stories generally aren't told on reality. So I think it's helpful. But it really is different for every single person. I personally don't think that anything that Kristen is going through is like shocking to me. I didn't go through it, but like when she says how she feels about certain things, I'm like, I can understand that.
Yeah.
And I think it's really hard, especially when the baby is so young, because the baby, there's only so much men can do in the beginning. Like if you're in a 2-parent household and the mom is there, the baby wants the mom 99 times out of 100. Maybe 100 out of 100, to be honest. So it's kind of hard for a man to like fully understand it. So I understand Luke's point of view, but at least for the immediate time being, like Kristen needs to focus on making sure that she's healthy and okay and stable and that the baby is healthy and stable. I hope they're in a much better place now. This was filmed over a year ago, right? Or about a year ago, or a little less than a year, but around a year. But like, it's all like pretty relatable, average, maybe a little worse than average. But like, I think most moms can see what Kristen's going through and be like, either I went through that or a friend went through that or I didn't, but I can understand where she's coming from.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I appreciated Danny talking to him and just like, you got to talk to your wife and all of that. And I mean, I'm glad that they had a conversation and it didn't end a certain way. And I don't know, my heart just went out to her. I don't know. I don't know what it's like at all, but I was like, man, I just know it's got to suck with a camera there. Like even when she was like, I just want to go home and be in the bed. I'm like, yeah, when she was describing, she's wearing a diaper and she's self-conscious about it already. And I'm like, I wouldn't want to be here.
Yeah.
At all. So I don't know. It's a lot, but very good point about we don't see that on TV. Mm-mm. And maybe we do need to see more of it. So, shout out to Kristen for her bravery of putting all of that on camera because that's not easy either.
It's a lot. Yeah. She put a lot out there, I think. She was incredibly vulnerable. So,
yeah.
I hope she's doing better.
I do too. Last thing, Southern Hospitality. Emmy must be stopped. She is truly a terror. And that is all I'm going to say about that. I didn't understand how, at the table, everyone kept saying Michols, because Michols goes, I forgot. I'm going to say it wrong, but he's wearing like this see-through shirt. And it's like got little holes on it. And he's like, he picked it out because it represents the sand because you guys walk all over me or something like that. And they were like, stop talking in code and just say what it is. So I guess I get that. But all of them are kind of like, Michols, just say what it is. And I'm like, Michols did. He had a private conversation with Emmy. Emmy knows exactly what the deal is. He is telling y'all, I don't want to be around her. I don't want to be friends with her. I can't right now. Y'all weren't privy to that conversation. So the fact that they're trying to make him have it all over again at the table, I'm like, Team Michols in this situation. And then, of course, Emmy can't help but be Emmy. She cries, makes it about herself. And then what does she do at the end? Cries about wanting a friendship with Michols and how he's her best friend. And she doesn't understand. And then what does Emmy do? The moment she gets a chance, she goes over to Molly and she's like, actually, Michols has been lying to you. He totally was involved in your firing. This woman must be stopped. And that is all I have to say about her. That is
According to Leva, she's off the schedule. But she did not,
what was it? The racism?
She did not say fired. She said off the schedule, meaning she is not working at Republic right now.
The way she talks about Will, she's like, these guys just team up on me and I'm tired of it. I don't know why I subject myself to this because if my fiance was here, none of this would happen. When Will was there, Will had joined the conversation. Not only did it happen, Will was a part of the conversation. Will was shitting on you behind your back. So I don't know what you're talking about. Will was perpetuating some of all of this. I can't believe
they're still getting married. When are they getting married?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what Will thinks about this episode. But she's like, Will. And I'm like, well, then go be with Will. She goes, Will, but Will isn't here because Will actually has a career. Girl, isn't he still in law school? He's still in school. Let's wait for him to pass the bar first.
I'm sure he will have a career, but like, you're in this, but also you're in the same group as all these people.
Yeah, you don't, but she's better because her man does. And let's just be clear. I think he's still in school and he would not be the first Bravo celebrity to not be able to pass the bar.
Yeah, don't go there.
In Charleston, mind you, they couldn't pass the bar.
The bar's hard, okay?
It is. I took one. But I will also let it be known that on a top 5 list of states that have the hardest bar, South Carolina's not one of them. It's New York, California, Texas, and Florida. I don't even know what would be the 5th one. Maybe Louisiana, because they have weird law. They have like French law. Illinois I don't think it is. Like Louisiana has French law in there, so it's like a weird thing, but it ain't South Carolina. That's my point. So, anyways, it was a little shame. I don't even practice anymore. So what do I know? I did pass the bar though.
For the record.
For the record. All right, that is it for us here on Morally Corrupt. So much going on in the Bravo world. Tuesday, we'll be covering the news. It's getting to the point, Callie, where it's hard not to do some of the recap on the news show and then some of the news on the recap show, because we're just being flooded. No, for sure. Yeah. There's just so much information out there, but we're trying. We're doing our best. But as Callie said, good problems to have. Well, that is it for us, guys. Have a safe weekend, and we will see you Tuesday on the News-ish show. Bye, guys.